Hi guys. All right, so I wanted to give a room tour really quick because my room is actually clean and all the bulletin boards are up. It's amazing. So I wanted to do it really fast because this will not last long. So first I have my today's special board. So my theme for my room is a cafe theme or restaurant. And so this is like today's special and then what the daily lunch special would be or something, but I actually teach specials classes. So I've got art and music and leisure classes, and I have signs for each of those, and I just swap them out. And when my door's open, which it normally is, then that's open to everybody passing in the hall, and people can see what day it is, what special they have. All right, next we have my mirror. Hi. We have a little 3-drawer unit here that I use for student support materials. The top is incentives. I don't know why I have pennies in there. And a paper clip. Anyway, we have these, which are our PBS tokens. We also use a different kind of token with some of our students. And then we have fake, real cash that we use with some of our adult students to pay them for their time. And then the next 2 doors are just different kinds of prompting, visual aid, support material stuff. So like I have one student that needs like extra prompts for cleaning up in art. I have another student who needs reminders that first he has to work, then he gets a break, or his music. So I use that. I have another student, couple students who sometimes don't understand you when you talk to them, but when you write it down, they do. So we have that available for when they need it. Greeting prompts, yes or no charts. These are amazing. These are, they're like silicone. I don't know if you can see the company, probably not. It's called Easy Hold, and it's silicone, so it stretches, and you can wrap it around an object and a person's hand, so it helps them grip it. And we use this with paintbrushes, instruments, any sort of materials that they need to hold with their hands. It's super cool. And then there's just some more of the same thing down there. So that's what all this stuff is. All the IAs for all the different classes know that this stuff is here and know that they can find pretty much anything they're looking for if they look there. Okay, next we have my ORF cabinet, and it's a mess. A hot mess, but that's okay. We'll get to it. It's a DIY I have not done yet. And then these are my color sorting jars. They usually live on top of a shelf, but right now I've got them all mixed up because I'm going to ask the students to sort the objects by color, and it's just random small objects. Marker caps, little props that I'm not using, leftover random Unifix cubes, bottle caps, anything like that. And then they're going to sort it. So we just studied the primary colors. So this is we're going to sort by red, yellow, and blue next week. And then we'll be doing our secondary colors and sorting the pinks and the oranges and the purples that are up there. Or greens, oranges, and purples, sorry. All right, so next is my combo corner, and if you remember, I have this restaurant cafe theme going, and at the beginning of the year, I had this fun bulletin board up that talked about how we have live music every Friday, and so what we do every Friday for my alternative school kids, and about once a month for my other program kids, we have combo, and what combo is, it's using kind of rock combo instruments to play pop and rock music that they like, that they pick, and I have this whole corner kind of set up for that. So that's my jukebox that says combo. Have some drum set pointers for people to remind them. We have our drum set up and our electric bass guitar, and you can see some of our reminders for where to put our fingers. Most of our stuff, though, that we do is with open strings. So I've just got the open strings labeled, and that's kind of the easiest for my kiddos to do. They can also sing if they want, or play keyboard. And the thing that's like made this really doable is this binder where I just keep, these are songs that aren't filed yet, but over here are the names of the songs, and then I can just flip to them, and I have the lyrics and the chords. If I need to make different adjustments, then I mark that on here so that I know right away, okay, I need to go transpose this. And then like this one, I don't have the chords written down because it's just the same descending pattern over and over again in the bass. And so that's the easiest thing for them to do. So I just have little notes like that. So they pick it, what they want to do. Other kids can pick if they want to join them on their song. And then we do it. All right. Next is my drum cabinet. This is my favorite cabinet. And I've got my rhythm sticks and drumsticks back there as well. I wish I had more of those big tabanos. There's some fun ocean drums in there, hand drums. And then next is my not so secret ingredients. And so this board, again, my theme's like a restaurant theme. So I've got these guest check banners all over the room. And I kind of went with, you know, that chalkboard theme with different cafes. And I just put black paper up, and then I actually like wrote with chalk on it. So that was like the easiest bulletin board I think I've ever done. And I have the two elements that we're studying this month in art and music. So in art, we're studying color. And in music, we're studying timbre or tone color. And I know that, you know, tone color is a lot more complicated and stuff than just the instrument families. But for my kiddos, this type of stuff is where we are. Identifying them by these sounds, or I'll show you an activity later that they're doing to sort percussion instruments by material. So things like that, that's where we are, and that's what's appropriate for us. You can see some art projects that we did to decorate. Those are up all over the room, again, to match the theme. I have flexible seating in my room, and so this is keeping track of who's gotten to sit in the recliner. The recliner is very, very coveted. It is the only platinum-only seating option. I'll give you a quick pan. The blue chairs are for everybody. Anybody can sit in the blue chairs. Once you reach level silver, you can sit on the wobble stools and the floor pillows. And once you reach gold, you can sit back at the high counters back there. But this is the only platinum one. And of course, if you're on platinum, you can still sit in any of the other options, but this is the only platinum one. So people can be a little competitive, and so we keep track of how many times people have gotten to sit in the recliner. That's our solution so far. And next you see my guitar with my awesome little, what do they call this? A gitten? It's like a mitten, but for your guitar. So this just Velcros around the top, and I can take it off whenever I need to tune, but it keeps curious little hands from adjusting my tuning, which I don't need help with. You can see some stop and go for an activity that we were doing with kids who were working on the core words of stop and go in their classrooms. So we were doing some freeze play with that. This is why I was mentioning earlier about the timbre. We were studying just the materials that they were made of. So we took out all my percussion instruments and we sorted them by what material they were made of: wood, skin, or metal. Then we played with them a little bit and we sorted them again, this time based on how you play them. So scrape, strike, or shake. And so usually I would use hula hoops for this, but all my hula hoops are at home and my kids are actually playing with them. So I just laid out paper and we laid them on the paper and around the paper. Here is where I kind of keep track of who's doing what. I write this up on the board and it gives me a little reminder of, okay, these classes are doing this class, etc., etc. So that was today's plans. Now I have to be careful where I walk because we have all these batiks that are out drying right now. We did a faux batik with non-washable paints and an old thrift store bed sheet that I got for 89 cents. And then the faux batik materials made out of toothpaste and aloe vera lotion. And I'm almost positive I saw it on Cassie Stevens' Instagram feed. And so these are all, they're drying right now. They got rinsed out today, so they needed room, and I've got to walk over them. Okay, next we have my buckets, and these buckets are, that's like materials I'm actively going to use in a lesson. These are for anything that's been used in a lesson, and they're dirty dishes. So they need to be cleaned. And these are things that I cleaned, and they need to go and be put up. So that's how I keep track of that. Here's another DIY that has not been done yet, but maybe someday. And then over here we have our United Way fundraiser things that we're making. Each class is making something different, and then we sell them to staff. So everything's made with donated materials. We sell them to staff, and that raises money for United Way. Here's some of my books. Some of those floor pillows. Here's my holy foam flooring. Last year, this was my cozy corner. This is actually what prompted me to look into flexible seating. I made this little area last year, and it was so popular, including with my middle school boys. It was kind of funny that my middle school boys would come back here and just loved it so much. And it started me kind of exploring the idea of having different types of options for them, since they were loving this option so much. And anybody can come back here if they have free time. There's different sensory items, like different toys. I love this thing. Fidgets, light up wands, a Bop It game, like actual toys, stuffed animals. Basically anything that has blue tape above it is an option when they have free time. So those blue tape shelves and the red tape shelves, they do not have access to those. Okay, this board, this is my recipes for success. These are our routines and procedures. So I've got them in words and with pictures, since a lot of my kiddos are non-readers. We practice these during our PBS boot camp times. We use the charts. I have physical copies of these over in that student material area. And then they're also posted. They're posted here, but then they're also posted next to where they're used. So if we come across any, I'll show you. And then my student computer for kind of a reward. They have to have permission to use this. And then I also use it for my smartboard. Here's my dry rack. My labels are looking a little rough right now, but what these labels are is basically each student has a rack or two, and then we can put their art projects on that rack, and we know exactly where they are. And this got a little messy. This is one of our early finisher type things. So there's free draw paper, all those other things. Got it labeled on both sides and there, so that hopefully things end up back where they should. Still doesn't always work that way, but you know how that goes. This is my paper bin, so if they are doing free art, they can use the scrap paper, our pencil sharpener, and our straw caddy to hold our pencils. Fits our theme. And our glue bottles. Oh, someone didn't put up the Play-Doh. So then there's Play-Doh in here. There's a bunch of different Play-Doh mats that fit different themes or lessons that I do sometimes. These hairstyling busy boards are so much fun. And I've got a couple different kinds. And they go behind the Play-Doh mats. Woo. Got to get a better way to attach the comb. And then some toys. And then I have task boxes, and these all have different types of little tasks or different types of materials. So these are also early finisher things. including like these building materials. I've got notched cardboard tiles. I've got actual wooden blocks. I have textured foam blocks, all kinds of fun stuff. And then here I have sensory bins. We dyed some pasta, made some rainbow noodles. Buttons are a lot of fun to dig through. Puzzle pieces are fun to dig through. Rainbow rice is fun to dig through. Pom-poms. And they all have like little scoops and cups. Or like I think, yeah, my jewels. I don't know if you can see that. That's an ice cube tray. They like to sort their jewels into the different spots. Some more books I swap out based on themes and seasons. The top shelf, this is all puzzles. So those are the bigger, chunkier puzzles, and these are a little more complicated. And some, whatever those are, little magnadoodle type things. And my decorative punches, my kids love these, and so they'll use these a lot with the scrap paper. And then off limits for free time are my music instruments, my little handheld percussion area, and my movement props. So balls, bubbles, scarves, parachutes, bean bags, that's all there, and that's off limits for students for free time because it just gets, you know, a little too out of control. I have a whole bunch of art materials here because I work a lot from this table on art days, and so these are little things I have to grab. And if you remember that blue shelf from earlier that's lurking over there, I'm gonna redo it and replace this because it's seen better days. It's time to give up the ghost. Those are some of our 3D candy projects that we did, and a way that we adapted them for some of our kiddos was we just printed off the candy that they liked, and then they painted it in. For others, they had to, like this one's a good example. They traced it. I projected it on the smartboard and they traced it and then painted it in. That was a fun project. Okay, up here is our menu board, our music and art menu. And it has our appetizer, our entree, and it's hard to see right now because of the candy, and our dessert. And it's just our general routine that we follow. So in music class, we have a music video first, whatever our main activity is, and then we always end with some relaxing with music, so some strategies to use to calm down. And then in art, we have some sort of instruction. Sometimes it's a video, sometimes it's me, sometimes it's an interactive activity like Play-Doh that's on the theme somehow. Then we have our actual project time, and when they're done with their project, they can have free choice time, and that includes all those possibilities that I just showed you. So that's there. All right. Oh, and then this is on all the tables. So there's like, don't know if you can see in there, but there's a little vase and some flowers like there are, and little table tents like there are in restaurants. Oh, there we go. That one needs a little surgery. And then the table tents, like this is our finished routine. So when they're finished in art, this is what they're supposed to do. Place their project on the dry rack by their name, clean up their area, and choose their free time. And so this is on all the tables so that it shows them a little reminder, you're finished, this is what you need to do. It also is showing them the flexible seating rules, which are on the next bulletin board I'm going to show you. And then the last side of the table tent are their free choices, their free time choices. So again, that thing that's up on the bulletin board, but this time it's like right in front of them so that they can see it. There's no excuses. It's right there. This is where I take donations. I need to make a cute little sign, but right now I'm taking donations of pizza circles and soda can tabs. So those are set up there, and then everybody knows too, when they bring stuff, they can put it there, or I put it there. Okay. Welcome. Please seat yourself. And then these are our flexible seating choices. You might see a yoga ball, but you didn't hear me mention it. I'll show you where it is in a minute and why. These are my expectations, that they choose a smart seat, somewhere that they can do work. So even if that's on the floor, that's fine, as long as they can do work. If they move something, they need to return it. So like my wobble seats go all over the place. They need to be put back on the carpet where they go at the end of class. They need to take care of all the items. Some of these are donated. A lot of them are donated, so we need to be nice to them. And that an adult can move them at any time. So that's posted so that they know exactly what is expected of them. These pizzas were a fun little project. I know I already showed them to you. These were not just like free choice and how they decorated them. These were glyphs. This is on my Teachers Pay Teachers. And everything that's on there, even including the way that they cut their pizza, represents something about them. So they were really fun to do. Okay. These are bats. Like those, you can stuff them with leaves or tissue paper and hang them from your trees, yard decoration. Somebody donated them to me though, and we're going to use them. We're going to turn them into flying monkeys to go with our scarecrow display. It's a current contest. Okay, these are red shelves, so students are not to be accessing this stuff, especially because it's behind my desk. So this whole corner is my corner. These are, I've got 3 main levels, and these are their art projects by level. So this is, they're kind of out of order, but this is my middle level and kind of the stuff that my middle level is working on. This is my highest level and the stuff that they're working on. And then that's my, my lower, younger level. And so those are the projects that they're working on. And this just helps me like keep it somewhat organized. This right here is my extra workstation. So I have a lot of kiddos that either can't make it to class or sometimes we have to leave the classroom. And so I can just grab this and it's got extra work in it. And they're all kind of like paper clipped. I'm trying to find one that has not been. Used. Okay, here's one. So this is just written work. It's got a Post-it note on it. And when a student does this assignment, I'll put their initials on the Post-it note. That way, when I need extra written work again, if I see their initials on a Post-it, I know, oh, nope, can't give that one to him because he's already done this. And it's just a way to kind of keep track of who's done what. And there's a lot of options in there. So we're always ready to go if we need to. And then there's just some basic materials like pencils, rulers, and crayons to complete those. And this is not pretty right now, but this is my sub. Like, here's my sub binder. It should go there. And it has my emergency plans in it. And my emergency plans say, like, okay, watch, open the red drawer behind my desk and do whatever's in that box. And so whatever's in the box is what they need to do. And so this is the class and begin at these times. And so then if I have a sub and they actually do this, I'll swap it out for a new Post-it note with new beginning times and so on and so forth. Like it's time for me to swap this out and get something different, seasonal, but this is for my younger kiddos to do during art class. So that type of thing. Those are just my teacher files, my fan, because I'm hot all the time. My random electronics set up, my awesome trimmer, my random crap I need to put away. And then this, there's part of the bulletin board that was up, the Rockin Robins Cafe. And that actually flashes and lights up. The batteries are dead right now though, so I can't show you that. But, and I just have my name, some pictures, and then random stuff that I need to be working on. I've got our district calendar. This is my little cleanup station for art. So I can put my paintbrushes in there to dry and the paint palettes in there. Like right now I've rinsed out the Batik bottles and they're drying. That type of thing. Okay. Then I've got my big art supply bins. My behind the shelf storage that I can't show you because it's so horrible right now. My paper specialty cart, and then more big bins. And then my boom whackers in this corner. Because it's just the best storage I've ever found for them. And then the last thing, like this is one thing that you can see lining up in art and music. It just reminds them, here are the expectations for when we're lining up, that type of thing. So, yep, that's my room. I love it this year. I really, really love the flexible seating. I love how that's going. I love my theme. It's fun. And I'm just really enjoying how my room functions this year. So I'm sad that this is my last year here. Hi. But wherever I end up next year, I plan to do this again. So, because it's just worked so well. All right, guys. Bye. I forgot to show you where the yoga ball is. There's the yoga ball. Hi, sad, dejected, deflated yoga ball. It's been there for like a month and a half, maybe a month. We had a lot of issues with it, with the flexible seating, and so it got moved. It got deflated. It will come back in January, maybe. So and they keep asking where it is, and I keep saying, I think it's still in the room somewhere. I need to just tell them, but you know. All right, bye again.